You're not gonna believe what happened to me this weekend.
I bet you're wondering how we got here.
That's blood.
It's, yeah, that's blood.
My sister came to visit me this weekend, and we were on our way to my friend's barbecue when literally it became the opening scene of a zombie apocalypse movie. So I'm driving my friend's car because I don't have a car at the time, and we were on our way. Well, we were about to stop at the grocery store to grab burgers, and so we're turning off of Melrose onto Normandy, and this guy like runs out into the street. He doesn't have shoes on. He just has a pair of like blue and black shorts on, and he like runs up to the car, and he's like, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't have any money on me. I was like, and he literally just ran out in the middle of the street. So I'm like, okay. I was like, sorry, no, can you move? And my mom calls, and I look down at the phone, and it's ringing, and then he like slams on the hood of the car with his hands. I was like, what the fuck? And then he starts trying to come over to the driver's side to open the car. I'm like, Jordan, roll up the windows. We're rolling up the windows. We're locking the doors. But this time, I'm freaking out, and I was like, oh, he's trying to get us. So I'm starting to pull off. He grabs onto the hood like some type of shit out of Spider-Man, jumps on top of the hood of the car. My sister starts screaming. I'm like, yo! I answer the phone. I was like, Mommy, Amanda's jumped on the car. What do I do? And she's like, what? My mom, my sister are not the best in crisis situations. So I'm like, Jordan, call the police. She's calling the police. She's like, hello, there's a man in the car. They're like, where are you? We don't know where the fuck we are, where the heck we are. So the police are asking all these questions. I'm like trying to tell her, we just turned off of Melrose. I don't know what street we're on. It turned out to be Normandy. And I was like, this man is on the top of the car. He is like, has this crazy look in his eye. He's foaming at the mouth. He has dirt and mud everywhere, scratches everywhere. And he's like sitting on top of the hood. He's like, you gotta get me out of here. They're after me. They're trying to get me. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm thinking like, is someone shooting? Is someone coming? I don't fucking look. I just drive with this dude on the hood of the car. I was like, oh my fucking God. So then I'm like, what the fuck? So then I pull over. We're down the street, and I'm like looking, and he's like starts punching the hood of the car. I'm like, get off the fucking car, get off of the car. He's like, look, like, please, you gotta help me. They're coming after me. Like, they're all coming after me. And he like puts his shin up, and there was like blood everywhere. It looked like someone like bashed him with a bat on his shin. It was just blood from his knees down. And on his other leg, it was like, I want to say it was probably his left leg. It had rubber bands tied around his shin, and there was blood everywhere. He's like, look, they're coming after me. You gotta drive. He's like punching, kicking the hood. He just like rip off the windshield wiper. Mind you, I'm in my friend's fucking car. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, this nigga's trying to attack us. My sister's screaming. My mom's on FaceTime screaming. She's 3,000 miles away. I'm like, Mommy, we gotta take a screenshot, take a video, do something. And I'm trying to drive, so I don't have the phone. And then so she was like, Andrea, pull over. So I pull over, and I'm like showing my mom. I was like, with my phone, I was like, Mom, he's on the car. He's screaming, he's crying, he's foaming. And then he was like, you gotta get me out of here. And then starts punching me through the windshield. Punching the windshield. And I said, ah! So I drove, and I'm driving, I'm swerving, I'm trying to get him off, I'm braking, I'm trying to like get the momentum to get off. He didn't like that shit. He climbs up on top like a fucking zombie, climbs onto the roof, and is holding on to like the bike rack, and starts kicking in the windshield. I said, oh my fucking God. So I'm driving. My sister's screaming. She's crying. She's like screaming out the window, help us. Someone please help us. But like, who is gonna help us, and how do you help someone in that situation? Like, there's just a crazed man on top of our car attacking us, and our car is like getting covered in blood. It was crazy. And then, you know that the show Black Mirror on Netflix, that episode is called like White Bear or something like that, where the girl's like running through the town, everyone's just like, on their phones, like not doing anything. Everyone had their fucking phones out, but nobody was calling the police. So we were driving, and then we get to, I don't even know what street we're at. We get to a street, and I'm like, please, sir, like I'm trying to reason with him. I'm like, what can I do to help you? Like, what do I do? And I was like, talk to me. Like, what do you need? Like, who's coming after you? My sister's screaming. My mom's screaming. I'm like, shut up. I'm like trying to talk to him, and he starts crying. He's like this. And then he like pulls his body like off of the hood, and he lays on the ground. I'm like, bet. So I'm trying to reverse, and motherfuckers behind me are pulling up. I'm like, get from behind me. So he didn't like that I tried to back up and leave him. So he jumped back on the hood, and it's like looking at me, like punching the windshield, looking at me. I was like, oh my fucking God. He won't get off the goddamn car. So we're calling the police. But this was going on for 15 minutes. I've never been so terrified in my entire life, because it was an unwarranted attack. There was nothing like, I didn't know the man. He literally just came up on the street and just started attacking us. And so I'm still speeding up, stopping, and he's jerking. Every time I do that, he gets pissed off. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that shit, because my sister's like, get him off the car. I felt like I was in a fucking Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm like swerving, like cars are coming. I'm like going around them. Like, as soon as they're pulling up, I'm like going around, getting around. I'm like backing up, trying to like get out of the way of like people crossing the street. I'm like, it was the craziest shit ever. Like, I dead ass felt like I was in a movie. I could not believe this shit. And I was like, I was just so hyper focused. Like, I was on trying to get this man off the car. I'm trying to fucking reason with him. She's fucking screaming. My mom is screaming. I'm trying to figure out, like, my mom, why are you screaming? Like, if anything, like, take a screenshot. Like, do something. Like, oh my God. It was just like, it was so much anxiety. Like, I'm just literally on the way to the goddamn grocery store. And fucking drug addicts attack you on the streets of LA. Like, what the fuck? So we're driving. We're on Santa Monica Boulevard about this time, and we see a 7-Eleven. So she was like, pull in the 7-Eleven, my sister. So I'm like, yeet. So I pull in the 7-Eleven, and there's like people in the parking lot. These like older, like 3 older white people. My sister's like, help us, please, someone help us. She's so damn cute, but like, what the fuck were they about to do? These old ass people. I felt bad leaving the crazy ass man in the parking lot with old people, because I'm like, well, I don't know what's gonna happen with them. But I was like, I was like, because he was like, you gotta call the police, you gotta help me, they're attacking. And I was like, well, you could call the police. We're on the phone with the police. This man is out of his fucking mind. I was like, you go in 7-Eleven, call the police, hurry, get them on the phone, hurry. He's like, you're right, yeah. And he like gets off of the car, and it's like shaking, and then I fucking dart off, I drive, I leave that nigga there. And then he starts running after, like, World War Z, trying to chase us. I said, Z, going down the street, and I see this nigga's, like, this car following us, and I'm like, oh, hell no. And so I'm, like, still driving, and we're, like, slowing down. I was like, he can't possibly, like, find us back here. And the guy that is behind us, like, pulls up, and I was like, yo, I'm so sorry, like, did you not see this man attacking us on top of the car? And he didn't speak English. I was like, I'm gonna call the police, and he just left us there. So my sister and I were just by ourselves, freaking out, crying, shaking. I had to hang up the phone with my mom because she was stressing me out. My dad calls, and he's like, all right, just breathe. Just breathe. Like, that was some scary shit. Like, the opioid crisis is a real motherfucking thing. So my sister is, like, all freaked out, rattled. The police, still not there. They hang up with us. They're like, we're going to send someone. So I'm like, okay. So we're sitting there for maybe, like, 15 minutes, and then the whatchamacallits come, the fire department. They come over after that whole call, after that whole ordeal. They're going to say, oh, you hit someone? I said, no, I didn't hit someone. A man jumped on our car and tried to attack us. Oh, he just randomly jumped on the... And I was like, yes, like, what the fuck? And so the fire department was like, oh, well, I'll just have LAPD handle this. We sit there for another 15 minutes. Then LAPD shows up. And when I tell you, like, this was some bullshit. So they roll up mad late. We're still like this was some other shit, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen this, but this was some other shit. So they roll up, and they were like, they look at the car. The windshield is caved in, shattered. There's blood everywhere. And so I'm telling her, like, I'm still shaking. Like, I'm trying to, like, get my shit together. And, like, Mind you, I'm in this cute ass outfit. I'm on the way to a barbecue. Like, I probably look crazy right now. I had on this, like, well, I guess it is. Well, I'm telling you anyway. I have this really cute, like, flannel, like, oversized dress thing on with shorts and these little brown shoes that I got. And my sister had on this really cute outfit, too. So we probably look crazy right now, right? And there's blood all over the car. So I'm telling the story, but I'm, like, watering my eyes, shaking, and tell the whole story about what happened. And the cop's response was, well, you're not the victim here. And while I'm telling the whole story, she's literally rolling her eyes, looking away from me, laughing. And I was dead ass serious. Like, right now I can talk about it, but I was crying telling the story. Like, it was a lot going on. And so she's like rolling her eyes, like laughing. I tell the whole story, and she goes, well, you're not the victim here, and walks away from me. I said, excuse me? I am the victim here. We were attacked. Someone just attacked us, and we were like literally scared for our lives because this man had no sense of reality. He was trying to get in the car to harm us. And like, she was like, okay. And so I was like, oh no, you gotta call somebody else, because I'm not dealing with this woman. Like, she had no humanity to her. Like, and I was like, ma'am, this is your job to protect and serve, and I don't feel safe. I still don't feel safe right now with you here. I was like, you need to call your supervisor. You need to get somebody else here. So that we had to call the police on the police, because she was out of pocket. Like, that was not okay. So the supervisor comes. I was like, yeah, you need to work on training with your officers. Like, this is some bullshit. She won't even take a report down, and she claims that she said the camera was on, but she's not even looking at me while she's talking to me. She's facing the other way. And he was like, honestly, they're not even from our precinct. Like, we had to get them from another precinct. But it was just like some bullshit. Like, I couldn't believe after that type of fear, where it's like, it was, when I tell you, it was like the opening scene of a zombie movie where everything's okay. It's a beautiful, nice summer day, and all of a sudden, it gets quiet and someone runs out in the car. Please, can you help me? I'm like, I don't have any change. Boom! He starts punching the windshield, punching the hood, screaming, foaming at the mouth. Like, that was some other shit. Like, I'm sorry for cursing y'all, but that was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And it's like, you didn't even know where to go from here, because it was an unwarranted attack. So it's like, I'm not about to be walking through the streets scared, but I'm about to see what a permit in California is looking like, because there's no way that's gonna happen again. And then it just makes you hyper aware. It's like, you're already aware before. And also, they kept trying to say this man was homeless. This man was not homeless. Like, when they came and showed us the picture of the man that they caught in the neighborhood, mind you, like, when I'm looking at this man, all I saw were white legs punching at me, white arms punching at me, and he was pale. Then the picture that they brought to us, like, a couple hours later, was like of a person of color, like a Hispanic male, freshly done eyebrows, freshly like shaped up beard, and he had the shorts I was talking about. They ended up being swim trunks, and I'm telling you, I was like, there's no way. Like, I swear the guy that attacked us was European Caucasian. Like, he did not look. He looked brown, and I was like, in the face, like, he looked like he got tan. I was like, he looked brown, and they were like, well, they're like, this is who we found in the vicinity, like, jumping on cars, like punching people's cars, and he jumped on a Lexus and supposedly bashed in their windshield too. And I'm like, well, I mean, how many other crackheads are there running around bashing? I don't know if he was on crack, heroin. He was on something though, because I'm telling you, nobody walks around like that with their right mind. But I was like, how many other people do you think are in a 2-block radius doing this shit? So it had to be him. But when I tell you, like, he looked so different when he was on the car, like, and I'll put the picture up, but it was like the car when we got out, covered in blood, covered. The windshield was all cracked in. It was like, it doesn't even feel real. Like, it was so fucking weird. We had to, like, they didn't like take samples or anything of the blood. I guess I watched too much TV and was like, before I need to like take this to a car wash, like, don't you need to take samples or something? Like, oh no, like, we definitely have the right person in custody. It's like, okay. So we like took the car to the car wash, and it was so embarrassing, like, riding around like with a blood covered car. Like, It looks so crazy. That was one of the scariest moments I've had. I just like, you hear about people talking about the opioid crisis and like all this stuff on TV, and then when you experience it, it's like it was already a really serious thing, but it makes it that much more real when you experience it firsthand. And I don't even know like what my recommendation would be. Is obviously to stay safe, but if someone just randomly attacks you without being provoked, it's like how do you stay safe from something like that? But just stay aware. Don't do